JT Miller, let's get to it. He was one of the best players on the ice, period, on Saturday.
Boy, was he ever.
Somewhat shocking. Well, first of all, it was kind of surprising, maybe even shocking to some people, that he was even playing. Let's go through this, Rick. So reportedly, the Canucks were on the verge of a deal with another National Hockey League team. What, Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
That deal, again, reportedly fell through. Mm-hmm. So both days. So let's run through this. First of all, Thursday, second straight horrible performance by the Canucks. This one against the LA Kings. JT Miller had a real tough night, in particular on the Kings' second goal by Kevin Fiala.
Yes.
Where let's be honest here. In the opinion of many, it looked like he gave up. Yeah. Okay, so does this guy want to be here? Get him out of here. Maybe management was thinking the same thing. So pick it up from there. What was Canuck management ownership thinking at that point heading into Friday?
Yeah, you make a great point, and I'm going to tell you this. It's not a coincidence that the Miller trade talks heated up the day after that embarrassing loss to the Kings. Enough was enough. They just finally said enough is enough. Then Canucks management gathered at Rogers Arena Saturday morning, Donnie, in hopes of cutting a deal. They were there for a few hours. They weren't there for 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Usually you don't see the management do this until the trade deadline, where everybody gets locked up in a room. What do they call it, Don?
War room.
No, the boardroom.
War room.
Boardroom. The war room.
It's a room.
Room. Anyways, you don't see this mid-season, Don. And these guys...
you never heard the expression war room?
The war room's at the trade deadline, but I'm saying they got in a boardroom Saturday and they closed the door and said, everybody out, let's talk trade. They were close. They were close with Miller. They called him. And they said...
They called Miller? They called another
Miller.
team?
They called Miller and said, you're not playing. We're close with the Rangers. The deal broke down because of the Rangers, not Miller or the Canucks. I do want to make one thing clear. There's a lot of rumors out there that Miller asked for a trade. He did not ask for a trade. His agent, Brian Bartlett, has made it very clear to me, very, very, very clear, especially on Saturday, that this is not JT Miller. He didn't go to them and say, I want to trade. Another thing I want to say to you, Don, 6 weeks ago, an article is coming out, Thomas Drance and I, we learned yesterday that 6 weeks ago the Canucks decided that the dynamic of Pettersson and Miller wasn't working. They had to depart with one of them or both.
6 weeks ago they decided that.
6 weeks ago was the decision made within the organization that one of these two guys, we got to change the chemistry. We got to change the room. We got to change something because it's not working. So 6 weeks ago, Donnie, they decided that, one of these two guys, most likely is going to have to be traded to change the dynamic of the club, especially in that dressing room.
Okay, so the deal falls through. Were the Canucks asking too much? I mean, Zibanejad has been thrown out there. Lafreniere has been thrown out there. Also,
Schneider.
Braden Schneider, right-handed defenseman, first-round draft pick, has been thrown out there. The other thing that was interesting is that on Saturday, the Rangers farm team, the AHL, they had 3 prospects, 3 players that are among their top scorers, top point getters for Hartford, not the Rangers, for Hartford. They did not play. They did not dress. So that was really interesting. So what happened to stop this thing?
That's a great question. It's really hard. Thomas and I tried on the weekend to figure this out. I don't believe Schneider and Lafreniere were in the deal. Maybe, Donnie, Hedl. Is it Hedl?
Yeah.
Hedl, the centerman?
Yeah.
Hedl, Lindgren's a defenseman, prospects of first, something of that nature. One thing people got to get through their heads, Canucks aren't going to win a Miller trade. Even they know that. Look at the Bo Horvat trade. Did you look at the people that came back? Beauvillier was gone in a few weeks, and Atu Ratu's in the minors fighting to get to Vancouver.
Well, I can't begin to tell you how well you make people in Vancouver feel.
Well,
the Canuck management is saying they're not going to win a trade.
They know they can't win a Miller trade.
It's great.
Well, put yourself in their shoes. You're peddling a guy whose production is down. There's rumors of him not getting along with Pettersson, star player, dressing room issues or whatever. They're not in a position of strength right now, Don, to move Miller. And teams know it.
Well, you'd like to think that they believe they're going to win a trade.
Oh, Don, offers haven't been great for Miller. What do you expect? Okay, Canucks want Schneider, Lafreniere. They're not getting them. They're going to get other guys. Look at Horvat. What did Horvat get you? Okay, they used the first-round pick to get Hronek. I love that. Great. Super. Well done. But the bodies that came back for Horvat, like, are they paying dividends right now, Don? No. They know that. Just like Horvat. They're not going to win this trade. If you think they're going to win this trade, there's no way, Don.
So what did Horvat do, similar to Miller, to decrease his value?
There's values. The decrease is like, okay, you're getting rid of a UFA. You're getting rid of a guy with term. You're getting rid of a guy with a lot of money. There's reasons why you lose value in a trade. There's reasons why you lose value in a trade. There's always reasons. And you're peddling a guy Miller, who took a leave of absence, has issues in the dressing room with the star player. His production's down, but the guy had 103 points last year.
He can be a great player.
And
there's that connection with New York, the team that drafted him. Not that that means anything right now.
And did you watch Miller on Saturday? That's why teams keep calling. He's a great player when he's on, but Donnie, he's had an off year.
You'd like to think. That's why you're not. But you'd like to think management, maybe ownership, but let's say management, Rutherford and Alvin would say, "Hey, look, that's the player you're getting. The guy Saturday. There's issues here in Vancouver. He'll be better with you guys. He needs to get out of here. We need to make a deal, but we need something really strong in return."
Yeah. Okay, so now everyone points out his defensive mistakes like you did. Oh, in L.A., remember the 2 goals? Yeah. You don't think the rest of the NHL is watching that second goal?
But then they're watching Saturday. He's a beast against McDavid.
Beast against a face-off, 18 for 23, 2 assists, a beast against McDavid. He was a tremendous player on Saturday. So which one are you getting, the guy that coughed up the puck to the Kings or the guy on Saturday?
Well, it's up to the Canucks management to not say, "Hey, we're going to lose this deal. Whatever. Let's trade." It's up to them to convince. They put the salesman hat on and convince whoever they're trading with that, hey, look, this guy's an unbelievable player. He needs to change the scenery. He's really going to help you. We need something decent in return. They want to win the trade.
Yeah, they want to win the trade, but they're in a tough spot. Don. And the other one, he's on the U.S. team for the Four Nations, Don.
There you go.
He's a good player. Like, the Americans love him. He was an early pick by the Americans. He was always going to make that team.
We talked so much about the Rangers. Everybody did. And the fact that it seemed like it was the Rangers who the team that the Canucks were the team that the Canucks were going to deal with on Friday or Saturday. What about Carolina?
So, by the way, Donnie, Canucks have given teams permission to talk with Miller. One team, Elliot Friedman said this morning, to keep an eye on the Hurricanes. Well, guess what, Donnie? 24-year-old center, and I hate this. But anyways, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he would make sense for the Canucks. The Canucks really liked him in his draft year. And UFA forward Jack Roslovich is a player the Canucks have liked in the past. He's having a good year, 17 goals. He's a UFA. When he was in Columbus, the Canucks tried to get him. So the Carolina talk is picking up this morning. So the bottom line is...
he would be a fit there, Miller.
Yeah, Miller, it would be a Rod Brindamore type guy. And just a lot of Carolina talk this morning. Look, until he gets traded, Don, people, you guys are the worst. The media causes this. Quit talking about it. Yeah, okay. Have fun coming and doing a show like this and not talking about it, for crying out loud. But anyways.
Well, it looks like something's happening.
Yeah, of course it does. The Vancouver Canucks were this close, Don, to trading Miller on Saturday. And people want us to stop talking about it. Are you serious? Like, really? This isn't Carolina or Columbus. This is Vancouver. So anyways, you keep an eye on Carolina, but they like Kotkaniemi and Razlovich in the past. So
I just have to say this. That
they better not get this guy.
Honest to God, like, I am praying that this deal happens for Kotkaniemi. Just to see you injure a groin trying to pronounce it day in, day out. Okay, here's another thing. We got Ian?
Yep.
No, not yet. Okay. One more item. Oh, there's several more items, but let's focus on this right now. Yesterday, the Canucks have their annual Ice and Dice event. Right. Everybody shows up, not JT Miller. What do we read into that?
He was sick. Tocchet was sick. He didn't go last night as well.
Maybe that's why he wore the sweater.
Yeah, well, that's it. But all these people complaining about Miller not at Dice and Ice last night. Look, he was sick. I've been told this morning he was sick. Tocchet was sick as well. And he didn't miss last night, Dice and Ice, because of a trade was closed. He just wasn't feeling good. And Tocchet wasn't there as well. He was sick as well.